Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have a really fun ornament DIY coming your way. Lots of tips and tricks and fun projects all about ornaments. I'll be sharing how to get that higher end look for less. It's going to be a fun video. Make sure you stick around. Okay, so jumping right in, I found these ornaments at Walmart. It's a set of 2 for $6.98, and the reason why I picked these up is they have that kind of faux looking wood on the top. It's actually plastic, but I feel like it is a really good faux, and on the Christmas tree, you really can't tell that it's not wood. So I picked those up, and they're kind of this finial shape, but they have a lot of texture. So what I'm gonna do is take some Rub and Buff in antique gold, and just using a foam brush, I'm going to apply the Rub and Buff all over the ornament. If you've never used Rub and Buff, it is so easy to use. A little goes a long way. And that looks honestly okay as it is, but if you want to layer in some paint or even some baking soda to mattify the paint, it really makes a difference. And it doesn't have to be in this order. You can do paint first and then Rub and Buff, but it just really makes everything pop, and you can customize it to make it any color to match your tree. This was one of my favorite ones. This is kind of using a charcoaly black and then the Rub and Buff underneath, and then I went over with the paint. So for this next set of ornaments, I found this pack of 4 at Hobby Lobby. I believe they were about $5 on sale, so I thought that was actually not a bad price. They come in this primered color, and then these you can also find at the Dollar Tree. These are clear, but these are also a great DIY. So using this larger paintbrush, I'm painting on some of this grayish brownish color. This paint does have a little bit of baking soda mixed in just to mattify the paint. I feel like it makes a more kind of chalky look. And while the paint is still wet, I'm going to take some flour and just sprinkle this flour right on that ornament, and then I'm going to set it aside to dry. So it's going to have a lot of flour on it, but that's okay. And once that ornament is completely dry, I'm going to take a little paintbrush and just brush off that excess flour. This is going to add a lot of that kind of chalky like texture onto the top of it, and trust me, it is gonna look good. It won't look like there's flour hanging on your Christmas tree. Again, using my antique gold Rub and Buff and a paintbrush, or I will show you another way you can also do this if you don't want to use a paintbrush, and it is a lot easier as well. I'm just going to dab over that flour, and it shouldn't come off. It should just look really texturized. I'm going to add some gold Rub and Buff to the little top, and there you have it. It looks like a very antiqued and older style ornament. You can also clear coat these if you wanted with some clear matte spray, but I'm just gonna leave mine as is. Also, don't limit yourself with ornaments. They are not only for the tree, you can also use them as bowl filler. If you have leftovers, you can put 1 or 2 on a gift, or even just using them little places here and there around the house. Another quick shortcut, instead of using a paintbrush or foam brush, is you can just put your Rub and Buff in a Ziploc bag and put your ornament in the bag and just rub it all over. It totally is the best shortcut for avoiding the paintbrushes. It gives you pretty much the same look with a little less work. So these little modern reindeer I picked up from Walmart also. They are sold individually, but I thought they were so cute because they have a little modern touch, but I wasn't crazy about that really overly shiny gold that they have on there. So I took them outside and gave them a little spray with some black matte spray paint. My spray job was actually really bad. The whole belly is still gold, which is okay. I'm not worried about it. So I just gave them a really light spray. And I'm going to show you guys a couple different options with these. So you can take the antique gold Rub and Buff. This is the same tube. Like I said, a little goes a long way because I think I used this on last year's ornaments as well, and it's still going strong. So it goes a long way. Using a foam brush, I'm just going to let that black kind of peek out from underneath the gold. It's just going to be a really, really simple DIY. But with the Rub and Buff and the black underneath, I find the more that you really rub it in, the more it kind of shows that kind of peekaboo black underneath. So the more you move it around, the better it gets, I find, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I just feel like that looks so much better than that super shiny gold. It's very simple, but I'm going to show you another option to add a little bit more texture as well. If you wanted to add a little bit more texture, make it look a little bit more aged, you can add baking soda to your paint. I use this very often. I can show you the exact process in the next project. So for this project, I'm just mixing up some black and brown paint, and then I found these cute little acrylic nutcrackers also at Walmart. I think they're about $1.97 a piece. They have some little glitter detailing on there, but in my paint, I'm going to mix in some baking soda. So you will find I use this process a lot. It really mattifies the paint, and with the acrylic, you have to do about 2 layers. The first layer looks really rough. I'm gonna warn you. I was for sure thinking, I don't know if this is gonna work, but it works and it looks so adorable. But yeah, that first coat is a little rough looking. So at first I thought I was gonna go around the glitter, and then I just decided just go for it and go over it, and it actually makes it look so cool. So this is with 2 coats of paint. I just went right over that glitter. Some of the glitter kind of goes to other parts of the ornament, which is totally fine. It just adds to it. And after that paint is dry, I'm going in with my antique gold rub and buff, which is the star of this video, and a foam paintbrush, and I'm just gonna highlight those textured parts. An ornament like this is perfect for this type of project because it has those raised parts. So if you can find ornaments that have kind of those parts that pop out, like the buttons and the belt and the little kilt, and I don't know if that's called a kilt or not, but ornaments like this will really pop with the gold. And there are a lot of different elements that make this look antiqued. I think the glitter definitely helps. Also mattifying the paint helps, but these look so high-end to me. This looks like something from our house or Pottery Barn, just something that would probably be really expensive. I would have never thought that such an adorable, gorgeous ornament could have come from Walmart with a little bit of paint and rub and buff. This is hands down my favorite project of all of them. And this process doesn't have to be just for ornaments. I bet you could find a really large nutcracker. A lot of times they're the wooden ones, and just with paint, baking soda, the rub and buff, I bet you could do something really similar with a really large nutcracker for like a mantle, for a quick and easy little DIY project as well. There are also so many holiday craft fairs. This would be a great project to add 2 or 3 of them in a little set and make a little bit of extra Christmas money too. So this idea is so sentimental. It's a really special one. For this one, you will need the oven baked clay, some crafting beads, string, and then I picked up these little letters from Amazon. I'll show you a little bit more in depth, but they are really easy to make. I'm just gonna take some of this oven baked clay, roll it out almost like a cookie dough. It's really easy to work with. And I just use a pizza cutter and cut out kind of rectangular strips in really no exact size. I just kind of go with what I think looks good, but you can also make an exact size if you wanted. And once I have a few little rectangles to work with, I think the rectangles are so cute. I'm going to use these little letters. I picked these up from Amazon, and they come in a set. I believe it was like probably under $15. They were really inexpensive, and they come with the little holder, and you can just spell out whatever you want. I think I used faith and joy, hope, love, peace, Mary. There's so many different little Christmas words that you can use. This one is joy, and don't forget to put them on backwards. I made that mistake a couple times, and then to the left you can see where I kind of test them out to make sure that I did it the right way. And yeah, I just kind of stamp on that really cute wording, and it spaces them out so perfect. That little letter kit I'll link in the description if you guys are interested. It's a really great one. And then I'll just add a little hole to the side where we're going to string the string through. And once they're ready, you can put them in the oven to bake. They don't take very long. I think it's about an hour or so on a low heat setting. And then I'm just going to add some beads to the side with some string to hang on the Christmas tree. So depending on what size beads you get, you do want to make sure that you can string your string through the beads, if that makes sense. You can also add a little piece of Scotch tape to the end to kind of thread it through the bead. That also helps. So for the first bead, I'm going to put the larger one first, and I'm stringing both strands through that larger bead, and then the smaller one goes on the top. So I'm going to put that smaller one, which it gets really tight with that string. It's a little bit of a thicker string. Tie a little knot and then a second knot so you can kind of have a little loop to hang it with. Another really cute idea for these is to personalize gifts. You can put names on them and add this to the gift that you're giving. Super custom, really cute gift idea. You can also add the name and put it by a stocking as well. I love these so much. My son and I actually made a lot of these last year for a little fundraiser he did for his school, and he sold so many of them, so they are a little sentimental. A few little fun tips and tricks for ornaments. Do not limit yourself to only ornaments on the trees. Like I said, I love using them as bowl filler around the house with some greenery underneath, any type of bowl. Really pretty ornaments, very ornate. Aged ornaments are always gorgeous with some greenery underneath. Also, using ornaments as a little something extra on a gift is always a really fun idea. Instead of using the inexpensive, cheaper materials to loop them around, you can also cut those off and use things like ribbon that instantly takes your ornament from a lower end to a higher end using some really pretty ribbon. Velvet ribbon is a really great one. There are a lot of different options to elevate the look. So I hope this video helped you guys in any way. Let me know in the comments below if you will be DIYing any of these projects. Make sure to tag me on Instagram if you do. I love sharing your guys' projects. And with that, we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.